So I got a story to tell you guys, because that's what I do on this channel too. If I don't have a message coming through, I'm gonna tell you a story based on my personal experience. So if you don't want to watch this channel or you don't want to watch these videos, you can leave or unsubscribe, but I would really appreciate if you would support this channel, even if you don't watch my videos. So just putting that out there. So I've been seeing a lot of ants lately, and ants have been crawling around my car and in my car. There's ants crawling on my gear shifter, on my radio. Not a lot of ants, but just a couple stray ants here and there. Whenever I park and I walk up to my car and I open the door, I'll notice on the pavement outside the car, there are ants scuttling around. And they never used to do that. And so I'm thinking that there must be a significance to ants lately. And when I've picked up the ants, I don't hurt them or anything. I pick them up and I throw them outside, all right? I don't squish them, I don't kill them or anything. But this reminds me when I was homeless before I, moved in with my family. I had an old Toyota just like this one, and it broke down. And I didn't have the money to fix it, so I parked it at a public park for 3 months, was sleeping in it and living out of it. And then I would walk, this was in California, I would walk to the train station, and I would take the train to work, take the train back to the station, and then walk from the station back to the park and back to my car. All right, I walked back to my car. I did this every day for about a year until I finally fixed my car, which was about $1,000 to fix, probably more than the car was worth. And then I used my car to drive to they called it like a group home, but it wasn't a place to sleep. It was more like a shelter where you could wash your clothes and shower, because I hadn't showered in a really long time. And so once I got into that program, all right, they didn't give me any money or anything. It wasn't anything like that or food stamps. They was just, I registered to have a place to wait in line and shower and then wash my clothes. And then I would get back in my car and, live in my car again. When I left it parked at that park for for a year, when it was broken for 3 months, or it broke after 3 months, and then I left it there. Anyway, there were ants everywhere in that thing, and I didn't even eat in the car. I ate outside of the car. So now that I'm seeing ants more and more, I got some iced tea right here. Now that I'm seeing ants out more and more, it's reminding me of the times when I was not doing so well. But the funny thing is that in those moments when I wasn't doing so well, I never lost hope. I never was negative. I was always happy, and sleeping in a car kind of wasn't very fun because of the heat, so I'd wake up sweating and everything. Because the car was broken, I couldn't run the AC, right? Until I fixed it. But I learned a lot about the city that I parked my car in, because I had to walk everywhere. I learned a lot about the train system because I took the train to work and the bus. And now whenever I see ants, like I just saw an ant earlier, not now, but earlier, I think about the times when I was homeless and, struggling, whatever you want to call it. Because technically I had a car, which is a roof over your head, right? But so now ants hold a significant meaning in my life now, because It's like they were there. I know this sounds crazy maybe to some of you, but I was all alone. I had no friends. You know, obviously wasn't and still am not in a relationship. I was completely alone, homeless, but I still had the ants to keep me company, which is kind of ironic because they're so small. But I remember when my old car was, well, these cars are both old, but the car that I don't have anymore because it got damaged, but my old Corolla I had, all right, it was so infested with ants that I remember coming home from work, like walking from the train station, unlocking the door, opening the door, and seeing like the whole driver's seat just covered in ants. And so I couldn't sit down or do anything, right? Because if you squish ants, they release the scent that attracts even more ants. So I ended up buying one of those little bait circle things and putting it, like I put like 6 of them all throughout my car, my old car, or the car before this one. And they ended up within a few days, 2, 3, 4 days, I opened the car door and looked in, and there were just dead ants everywhere. So I had to buy a broom. I had to walk to the Walmart, buy a broom, and sweep all the dead ants out of the car, okay? And then once I fixed the car, I actually could drive it to a car wash and got it washed, because you have to wash it to use their vacuums. And then after I got it washed or whatever, I pulled in, shampooed the whole car, and then got rid of all like the dead ant fragments and like all the bad smell and everything. But my whole point here, guys, and I'm rambling, my whole point here of the story is that now that this was like 4 years ago, now that it's 4 years from what happened, you know, whenever I see ants, they hold a significant meaning now. I want to say symbolic, maybe even spiritual a little bit, because ants are so small, but they're so tough. They can carry like 5 times their body weight or something. That's how strong they are, because they're built that way. And the ants, their bodies are built in 3 segments. So you have the thorax, the head, the thorax, and then the I forget the name of it, but it's the middle part. And the symbol of 3 is it symbolizes 1, the Trinity, and number 2, it's an angel number, the number 3. But yeah, I just wanted to share like all about that. But let me know in the comments if you see an animal that, if you ever see an animal that that you resonate with, because maybe you have an animal in your life that means something to you symbolically or spiritually. But yeah, that's really the story, all I have to say, I guess. That's a story I have for you guys. If you see an insect, don't kill it. If you see a spider, I know probably a lot of you don't like spiders. I like insects and spiders, you know, centipedes, praying mantises, all that. If you see any of them, don't kill them. Just be sure to, you know, treat them with care. Maybe because they're not going to hurt you unless they are poisonous. And even then, they mind their own business unless you actually antagonize them. So, yeah, with that being said, I'm going to end the video off there. So yeah, you guys take care, and I hope you enjoyed that story time. If you want more stories, I have a lot. Just let me know.